Welcome to Vivid English Podcast. Hello, everyone. I'm Sarah.
And I'm James.
It is so good to be back. How have you been?
I am doing fantastic. I've got my coffee and I am just buzzing with energy because today's topic is, well, it's a real game changer. How about you?
I'm great, but I have to say, I am really feeling the topic for today. We were talking about the single biggest problem for learning English.
Ooh, let me guess.
Yeah.
Is it tricky grammar, phrasal verbs?
Nope. It's just life, The
Yeah.
busyness, that feeling of, I just don't have the time.
Ah, yes, that one.
I think every single learner listening right now knows exactly what I'm talking about. You wake up, you've got emails, you rush to work, you deal with family, and suddenly it's 10 p.m.
And you haven't spoken a word of English.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the number one complaint I hear.
Uh-huh.
And it's sad because people really want to learn.
They do, but we have this idea in our heads that to get fluent, you need these huge empty blocks of time.
Right. Like, if you're not sitting at a desk for 2 hours with a textbook, then you're not really studying.
Exactly. It's that all or nothing trap. And because nobody has a spare 2 hours just lying around every single day,
We choose nothing every time.
we let perfect be the enemy of good. But today, we're going to talk about a different way, a better way.
A much better way. Today, we're going to explore the ins and outs of the 10-minute daily English routine.
10 minutes. That sounds almost too easy.
It sounds like a cheat code, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But the philosophy behind it is so solid. We're shifting the focus from intensity to consistency.
Consistency versus intensity. Okay, let's break that down because I think most people assume that 1 3-hour study session on a Sunday is way better than 10 minutes on a Tuesday.
You'd think so, just
Yeah.
based on the total time. But you have to think about how our brains actually learn. We're fighting a biological enemy here called the forgetting curve.
The forgetting curve. That sounds serious. Is that a real scientific term?
It is. It comes from this German psychologist, Hermann Ebbinghaus. And basically, his research shows that our memory just, well, it fades. It decays over time.
So if you study for 3 hours on a Sunday,
By the time next Sunday comes around, you haven't just paused your learning. You've actually slid backward.
so it's like a leaky bucket.
That's a perfect analogy. You fill the bucket on Sunday, but all week long, the water, the vocabulary, the grammar is just leaking out.
So you spend the first hour of your next session just refilling what you lost.
Exactly. It is so inefficient.
Uh,
But with a 10-minute daily routine, you're plugging that leak. You're getting small wins every day. You're keeping your brain in what I call English mode.
I love that phrase, English mode. It's like keeping a car engine warm in the winter instead of trying to cold start it every week.
That is it exactly. And there's a quote from the material we're looking at today that really hits hard.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
It says, I do not have time as a lie. I do not have a routine as the truth.
Oof. That's a hard truth. I do not have a routine is the truth. It puts the responsibility right back on us, doesn't it?
It does. It removes the excuse. Because we all have 10 minutes. We spend 10 minutes scrolling social media without even thinking. It's about having a plan for that time.
Okay, so let's give our listeners that plan because 10 minutes can disappear if you don't know what you're doing. We have a specific system to talk about, right? The 2-3-3-2 rule.
The 2-3-3-2 rule.
Yeah.
It sounds like a formation in soccer, doesn't it?
It totally does. But no, this is a minute by minute breakdown. So let's walk through it step by step so you can see exactly how this works.
Let's do it.
Okay, the clock is starting. The first part is the input. This is just 2 minutes. What happens here?
Right. The goal here is instant action. You can't waste 5 minutes deciding what to study. You need fresh language in your brain immediately.
So, low friction, no thinking involved.
Zero friction. And the activity should be incredibly simple. Like, you could review 5 new words on a vocabulary app, or, my favorite, just read one short news headline in English.
Just a headline, not the whole article.
A headline is fine, or maybe the first sentence. The point isn't deep understanding. The point is to wake up your brain, to tell it, okay, we're doing English now.
I see. So it's the warm-up stretch before the real workout. Very manageable.
Precisely.
Okay, so that's the first 2 minutes. Input is done. Now we're at minutes 3.
Yes.
This section is called the shadowing.
Yes. Shadowing. This is one of my absolute favorite techniques for learners.
For anyone who's new to this, can you explain what shadowing actually is?
It's simple, but it is so powerful. You listen to a short audio clip of a native speaker, and you repeat what they say out loud almost at the same time. You're following them like a shadow.
So you're not just listening, and you're not waiting for them to finish the sentence.
Nope. And that's the key. You're trying to match their rhythm, their intonation, almost simultaneously. And it has to be out loud. This is all about the physical part of speaking English.
The physical part. I always think of language as a mental thing.
It's both. Speaking is a physical skill. It uses muscles in your mouth, your tongue, your jaw. And those muscles need exercise, just like any other muscle.
Right. So if you only ever read or study silently, your mouth never actually learns how to make the sounds.
Exactly. This is the gym for your mouth. You're waking up those muscles. You listen to a short clip and you mimic everything, not just the words, but the rhythm, the emotion, the pauses.
That makes so much sense. You're training the instrument, not just reading the sheet music.
Perfectly said.
Yeah.
And it's only for 3 minutes.
Okay, so we're halfway there. The next 3 minutes are for the output.
This is where you switch from consuming English to creating it.
And again, just 3 minutes. So what's the activity here?
The goal is to write down or even just speak out loud 2 simple sentences. Just 2.
That's it. 2 sentences. Surely we can do more than that.
You could, but remember the goal is consistency. If you aim for a whole paragraph, you might feel intimidated and then just skip it. 2 sentences is always doable.
Okay, fair enough.
But the key is to make them personal. Don't write some textbook sentence like, the pen is on the table.
Right. Not very useful in daily life.
No. Instead, write about your life right now. What is my plan for the day? Or how am I feeling? Something like, I have a meeting at 2 p.m. Or I am so tired today.
I like that. It forces you to learn the vocabulary that is actually relevant to your own life.
Exactly. The brain remembers what's relevant. And because it's only 2 sentences, you can really focus on getting them right.
Okay, so that brings us to the last 2 minutes. This is the AI check.
Yes. And this is where modern technology is just amazing for learners.
So we take those 2 sentences we just wrote and we do what with them?
You put them into an AI tool,
Hmm.
like ChatGPT or whatever model you use. You just paste your sentences and say, please correct this for natural English. The AI will fix any grammar mistakes, but more importantly, it will show you a more natural way to say it.
Wow. That's like having a personal tutor on call 24/7.
It really is. And the very last step is to read the corrected version out loud. just once.
Ah, so you close the loop, you see the mistake, you understand the correction, and then you say it correctly.
You got it. And
Yeah.
that's it. Your 10 minutes are done.
When you break it down like that, minute by minute, it seems so achievable. It's almost over before you've even realized you started.
It's fast and it covers everything: reading, listening, speaking, grammar. It's a complete workout in a tiny dose.
Okay, but I know what some people listening are thinking. This sounds great, but even finding 10 minutes can be hard on a really crazy day.
That's a fair point. And this is where the strategy is not about finding time, it's about making time. And for that, we need to talk about habit stacking.
Habit stacking. I love this concept. Can you explain how it works?
Of course, it's a brilliant little psychology trick. Instead of trying to create a new time slot in your day, you attach your new habit, your English routine, to a habit you already have.
So you piggyback on something you already do automatically?
Exactly. Think about your morning coffee. Do you ever forget to make your coffee?
Never. That is a non-negotiable part of my morning.
Right. So your new rule isn't, I will study at 7 a.m. Your rule is, while my coffee is brewing, I will do my 10-minute routine.
Or during the first 10 minutes of my commute. Or right after I brush my teeth.
Yes. You connect it to an existing trigger. That way you don't have to use willpower or make a decision. The old habit automatically starts the new one.
It just becomes part of the flow of your day. That's so smart.
And looking at the technology we have now in 2026, it's getting even easier. The environment itself can remind you.
Oh, let's talk about that. The AI nudge. This is where things get really interesting.
The tech is amazing. I mean, with AI glasses and wearables, these devices can help us stick to our habits.
So, how would AI glasses help with this routine?
Well, it can be really subtle. You might just get a tiny visual notification in the corner of your eye, a little countdown that says, hey, 10-minute gap, time for your routine.
That is so cool.
And it gets even smarter. The AI can actually suggest a topic based on where you are.
What do you mean?
Let's say you're standing at a train station. The AI in your glasses can recognize that and suggest, let's review travel vocabulary for your output today.
Whoa! So it personalizes the lesson to your exact context. That would make the learning so much more memorable.
It removes all the planning, the technology just guides you.
But, even with all the tech in the world, we're still human. Some days you're just exhausted, the kids are sick, work was a nightmare. What happens on those days?
This is such a crucial point because if you aim for perfection, you will fail. The
Yeah.
first time you miss a day, you'll feel guilty and you'll just quit.
It's that all or nothing thinking again. So, what's the backup plan?
The backup plan is the 2-minute minimum.
The 2-minute minimum. So, you just do less?
Yes. The rule is if you absolutely cannot do 10 minutes, just do 2.
But is 2 minutes even worth it? What can you possibly learn?
This is the secret. On a bad day, the goal isn't learning. The goal is keeping the habit alive. You're not trying to make progress. You are just trying not to quit.
Ah, I see. It's about not breaking the chain.
Exactly. There's a golden rule in habit formation that says never miss twice.
Never miss twice. I like that. So it's okay to have a bad day as long as you get right back to it the next day.
Right. Even if you just do 2 minutes, you're protecting your identity. You're still a person who practices English every day.
That takes so much pressure off. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent.
And that consistency, it adds up. We should talk about the math because the compounding effect is incredible.
Yes, let's do the numbers. Does 10 minutes a day really amount to anything significant?
It really, really does. So 10 minutes a day, every day for a year, that adds up to about 60 hours of focused practice.
60 hours. Okay, that sounds like a lot. But what does that mean for your English level?
It's huge. 60 hours of focused study is generally enough to move up a full CEFR level.
Wow. So you could go from, say, a B1 intermediate level to a B2 upper intermediate level.
In 1 year, just from those 10 minutes you squeezed in while your coffee was brewing. It's not a miracle, it's just math.
That is so motivating. Small daily actions lead to huge results over time.
That's the whole idea.
You know, speaking of language, I think it would be great to give our listeners some specific English phrases that they can use to talk about these new routines.
That's a fantastic idea. Let's do it.
Okay, so let's give them 3 useful phrases. What's the first one?
The first phrase is to keep a streak.
To keep a streak. Can you use that in a sentence for us?
Sure. You could say, I have practiced for 50 days in a row. I really want to keep my streak.
I want to keep my streak. I love that. It's about not breaking that chain. Okay, what's our second phrase?
The second one is to fit in, or my personal favorite, to squeeze in.
To squeeze in. I use that one all the time. It really paints a picture of a busy schedule.
It does. For example, I try to squeeze in some English during my lunch break.
Perfect. And the third
The
phrase,
third phrase is all about the results. It's to pay off.
to pay off, like an investment that gives you a return.
Exactly. So you could say all those 10-minute sessions are finally starting to pay off.
One more time.
Starting to pay off.
That's the best feeling, isn't it? When you realize all your hard work is actually making a difference.
The absolute best.
Okay, so to recap for everyone, we have to keep a streak, to squeeze in, and to pay off. Great phrases.
They are.
You know, talking about all this, I'm feeling a little guilty. I haven't done my shadowing yet today.
Well, I have a confession.
Uh-oh. What is it?
I actually did my 10 minutes before we started recording this morning.
Oh, of course you did. You're the expert. You have to practice what you preach. You're a show-off.
I try. I reviewed some vocabulary while I was waiting for the elevator.
Well, I'm gonna claim that I'm doing my 10 minutes right now just by talking to you.
That absolutely counts. You're doing output, you're doing listening. See, you're already winning.
This has been so helpful. I really feel like this is a plan that anyone can follow. It's so practical.
I really hope so. It's not about being a genius, it's just about showing up every day.
Before we go, do you have one last piece of advice? If people remember only one thing from today, what should it be?
I do. If you forget everything else, just remember this slogan. Make it small, make it daily, make it yours.
Make it small, make it daily, make it yours. I love that. That's perfect.
It's the key.
Thank you so much for breaking all this down. And thank you to everyone listening. We know your time is valuable. We just spent a whole episode talking about it, so we really appreciate you spending some with us.
Yes, thank you everyone. It means the world to us.
Please don't forget to subscribe and catch our next episode on the Vivid English Podcast.
Be sure to tune in to Vivid English Podcast next time. We've got some great topics coming your way.
Have a wonderful week, everyone, and good luck with your 10 minutes. Bye-bye.